Hey, how's it going? It's Sean Bradshaw from cyberfret.com, and in this lesson I'm going to show you kind of a way you can play a blues rhythm part in the key of A. And I call this the Rockin' Amen Blues, and I'll explain why I call it that here in a minute, but let me kind of play it through and then I'll show you how to do it. So, why I call this the Amen Blues is kind of a traditional ending in a church hymn where everybody sings Amen, is going from what's called a 4-chord to the 1 chord in a key. And, chords are built from scales, and if I played an A major scale, and just counted the degrees of the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, the chord that's built on that 4th degree in the key of A is a D chord. And then A is what's called the 1 chord. I'm not going to go into lots of theory here, but the idea is that this is what's called an Amen cadence, a plagal cadence if you're a traditional classical theorist, all right? And it's very common in blues, all right? Kind of bringing in some of that church influence into the blues. But I'm kind of rocking it up some here. And what I'm doing is I'm taking an A chord, where I'm just barring my first finger across the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings here at the 2nd fret. And then this right here is actually my D chord. When I put my 3rd finger on the 4th string at the 4th fret and put my 2nd finger on the 2nd string at the 3rd fret, I'm still playing the open 5th string here. So technically it would be a D/A chord. But what I'm doing is I'm using that D chord as kind of an embellishment of my A. So when I'm playing over the A chord, I'm actually kind of going back and forth between an A chord and this D/A chord. And there's all kinds of rhythms you could do. I was kind of keeping it basic for demonstration purposes here. But that's the Amen. All right. Now, for when we go to the D chord, if I kind of think of a D major scale, count 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that 4th degree is a G. And so I'm going to play this D, but what I'm going to use to kind of embellish that D chord for this blues is I'm going to go to a G/D. So a G chord, but a D is my lowest sounding note. And the way I'm playing this particular G is, if you're at all familiar with the basic F chord, if I was to just let go of my 3rd finger and scoot that up 2 frets and just play the top 3 strings, that's a G chord. Play 4 strings and get that open 4th string, and I've got a G/D chord. Okay, so I'm going to go D, and then this G/D. All right, so, both of these, if you're at all familiar with kind of playing a basic blues shuffle going, all I'm doing is kind of harmonizing that even more for these two, kind of adding some extra notes on top of that. But, just think, D, G/D. And we're doing that over the D chord in the blues in the key of A. And we've got one more, and that is going to an E. And if I was to play an E major scale, that fourth degree of an E major scale is going to be an A. And so our Amen cadence, that 4 chord in the key of E, would be an A chord. All right. Now I'm not switching to the key of E. When I say that, all I'm doing is telling you how I'm getting this chord. All right. I'm deriving my Amen chord. That 4 chord of this particular E is the A. I'm still in the key of A. My whole blues here is in the key of A. But I'm just using an A chord at this point to kind of embellish my E chord. And the way I'm playing this particular A, I end up using my second finger. And I'm also playing the open 6th string, so it's an A/E chord. And the only reason I'm using my second finger is because it's just, a comfortable option rather than switching over to my first finger, which I would more commonly use for the A, and how I use the A in the beginning of the song. Or another way that you could do it is kind of just flatten out your third finger like this. Either way, works just fine. All right? And so this is just a way for you to, another way that you might play a blues in the key of A. And there's lots of ways to do that, but this is just kind of this more, kind of you hear this a lot in some, kind of 70s rock stuff especially. So not necessarily a traditional blues, but kind of in a rock setting. All right, so kind of plug those into, I've got a jam track here for you on this page, and download that and play along with your new Amen blues in A. Have a good one.